along the way. I may, and you guys can interact. I may have to mute you guys so I can just focus on the seller call. But then when I put people on hold, I might chime in with some stuff from there. So
Yeah, and anybody who is just tuning in, ask the questions, comments section, stuff like that. We're just gonna go live with our mastermind talking about real estate, specifically looking at the calls that he's making live. So that's what's up.
exactly.
Oh, which one are you calling? Because I know we got that Florida deal. You got to call that seller back at some point, but then we had this other one that just came in.
Yeah, that one
The
that just called in, I was going to call him.
Yeah, Jim. Okay. Ode Valley Drive.
Yeah, in Greenwood, Indiana, which we have a listing in Greenwood, Indiana right now, and we're probably gonna make like 40 grand on that. So, and this one came in through SMS.
Did I
So,
underwrite that already?
what this guy?
Ode Valley, yeah.
No.
All right. Well, I'm gonna underwrite it now. He said 984 and okay. I'm gonna underwrite
Here,
it, and
I'll
what I'll
I'll
do.
slack you.
Okay.
Um, it's gonna be in the offers needed. Now, if you guys are just joining this, normally we wouldn't just underwrite a deal before we're on the call. But the only reason we're doing that here is because he literally just called in a few minutes ago while I was in another meeting, and I'm going to call him back. And so Christian's going to underwrite this while I'm getting on the call. And I don't suggest for any of you watching you underwrite deals prior to getting on a call with him. It'll just end up being a massive time waste. Let's go ahead. Let me share my audio.
Sharing is caring. One of the reasons I'm gonna underwrite it too is just to share my screen as I do it.
Perfect.
I can pin my screen up while you're talking so that people can kind of see what I'm doing.
You should pin both of us. Here, I just pinned myself, and then you can do up to 2 pins, I believe. Maybe
Oh,
able to do more than that, actually. So
well,
we're
pin me.
pinned in the split screen.
P-
We should be
Not on,
pinned.
not on YouTube right now. That's
Not
what I'm
yet.
seeing.
Not yet. Yeah, well, there's a delay.
Oh,
Come on, you're the YouTube master. You should know this.
oh, I'm the real estate master.
All right. All right. I'm gonna call Jim. Did he say Jim or James when you talked to him?
Ooh, let me look. Where are my notes? It's Jim.
Cool. Because he's in here as James, but I'm just gonna call him Jim.
Go even more friendly and just say, "What's up, Jimmy?"
Jimmy. All right, let's go.
Hello.
Hello, Jim. It's
Yeah.
Chris.
Oh, Chris, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, we're getting a little break in the weather here in San Diego. It's been like 95 degrees the last like 4 or 5 days, man. It's been whew, nightmare.
Our weather's been great.
Yeah?
Yeah, we haven't been too hot. It's been sunny. It's been great.
Nice.
We're living right out here.
There you go. Low humidity.
Oh, low humidity. Yeah, and that's unusual for us.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know you guys usually get pretty humid over there. So that's the key though. You get low humidity, everything's gravy. Once that humidity spikes, then it's just whew, dying.
Yeah, when it's 90 degrees and the humidity's low, that's nothing.
Oh, exactly, exactly. So awesome. Well, I was calling you back. Christian had mentioned that you had called in. It looks like
Yeah.
you were speaking with one of our referral partners, Erica, via text about the property that you own on Old Valley Drive there in Greenwood. And
Yeah.
she had paired you with us just because she thought we would be a good fit for you. Um, So yeah, appreciate you reaching out to us. She mentioned here in the notes that you were moving.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I haven't got anything set. It all hinges on whenever I sell the house, and I'm going to run up to Michigan, and I'm going to find me a house.
Got it. Okay. So you don't need to find a house before you sell. You're just gonna sell and then you're gonna go do your thing and then find a new house.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
yeah,
All right. And you're moving to Michigan?
yeah.
Nice. What's bringing you to Michigan?
Well, I lived up there. It's been 25 years ago now, just for a short time, but then I moved back here because of work and everything. As far as things were at that time, it was the late '90s, and things were getting tight. And I was from here, and I was a machine design contractor, and I was getting a little nervous because the economy was turning bad, and so I moved back home.
Hmm.
I told the wife, I said, we got to move back to where people know who I am
Yeah.
because of
Nice.
work.
Yeah.
And I
Gotcha.
picked up a job on the drive home. So
Oh, nice. Nice. Awesome. What part of
Well,
Michigan are
I'm
you looking at?
retired now.
Oh, you're
I'm
retired now?
retired now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What'd you retire from exactly?
I was a machine designer.
Machine
It's not where
designer.
from, it's what kind of work. Yeah. Yeah. Production machines.
Okay. Nice. So is that mostly like on like, CAD software and that type of stuff
Yeah.
or
Yeah. I knew how to run 5 different CAD softwares.
nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that had to be interesting.
Well,
What's the coolest machine you've designed?
oh, shoot. I don't know. The last few years I was working on lead acid batteries, with the AGM in it, the glass matting,
Hmm.
and then that's when the price of batteries jumped up from $40 for a battery to $100 for a battery.
Oh, God. Wow.
I just designed the machine that assembled it, but
Okay.
I never did buy the science to it. They were talking about how much better it was and everything, and I think they did it just to raise price up.
Yeah.
Didn't
Hey,
matter to me. It kept me busy for several years, so
exactly. As long as they're gonna pay you, right?
that's right. That's right.
Nice, nice. All right. Well, by the way, I do have to let you know all calls are monitored and recorded for quality and training purposes. But what part of Michigan are you moving to?
It's going to be up north central. It'll be not all the way up north, but about 2/3 of the way up in the state. Yeah,
Okay,
just a little bit south. Just a little bit south of Houghton Lake.
got it. Is that kind of near Traverse City?
It's a little bit south of Traverse City. Yeah, yeah, it's a
Okay,
little
all right.
south of.
Nice. I have a good buddy of mine that lives in Traverse City. He does some investing in like the Detroit area and other parts of Michigan as well. So
You ever go up there and go to the Cherry Festival?
I've never been to Michigan. Actually, it's probably one of the few
Oh,
states I've never been to.
it's a good state.
Yeah, I hear
It's
great things.
it's beautiful in the summer, and the winters are hard enough that you can do something there.
Nice,
Not
nice.
like here in Indiana, it's as much rain as it is snow, so you really can't enjoy the winter.
Yeah,
Up
yeah,
there,
that's
you get on snowmobiles and everything, you know.
oh nice, nice. Yeah, I grew up in Philly and Philly was you kind of get a mix in the wintertime. You would hope that it would get cold enough and the snow would stick. But a lot of times you're just dealing with a lot of slush and trying to, go to work in the slush is just a nightmare.
And we get that here. We
Yeah,
get that here. It's been quite a few years since we've had a hard winter. So,
yeah.
but
Gotcha. Okay. Well, the point of the call today is really just to see if the property qualifies for getting an offer as is. The company is looking to buy properties to put in the portfolio for generally one of two reasons. It's either going to be to fix it and flip it, or it's going to be to buy and hold as some sort of rental. And that could be a long-term rental, it could be a short-term rental, it could be a mid-term rental, all depends on the situation. So by the end of this call, I'm either going to get an approval from our underwriters with an offer for you, or they're going to deny it and they're going to give us a reason why. Okay.
Okay.
Now, a few of the benefits of working with us is that we will buy the property as is. We would cover all of the closing costs, and there's absolutely no commissions or other fees in the transaction for you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, can you grab a pen and a piece of paper? I'm going to have you jot down some of my contact info, and if we do get the property approved, there's definitely going to be some other pieces of information you're going to have, keep handy.
Okay. Let me grab a pen.
Okay. Christian, we got some people in the waiting room.
Yes, we do. Let them in now. Just underwriting. Slowly.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So my name is Chris Deal. Like, let's make a deal.
Okay.
And the name of our company is Lazarus Property Group, like Lazarus from the Bible.
Okay.
And my telephone number here might be the same one you called in on. We have a few, but the main direct line is 619-525-7132.
Okay.
All right. And then our website, if you ever want to check out our website, is www.lazprop.com. That's LAZPROP.com.
Okay, got it.
All right. Now, for whatever reason, I'm not the tech guy. You're probably smarter with the technology than I am. But for whatever reason, if you don't put the www in, it's going to give you some sort of error. So just make sure you put the www in if you go to the website.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, cool. So yeah, so you're moving. I believe it's a duplex, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you living in one side and renting out the other, or is the other side vacant?
They're both full.
Oh, they both have tenants. Okay. Oh, so this is not your primary residence.
No, my
Okay.
primary residence is right across the street from them.
Oh, okay. Got it. Are you selling that house too?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it. What are you going to do with that one?
Her sister lives in one side of the duplex, and she's going to move into my house.
Oh, okay. Nice. Well, that's cool.
So there will be one side open, but
okay.
You know, if it goes as a rental, I've never had a bit of problems renting it.
Nice. Okay. All right. Perfect. So I'm just jotting down these notes. Sister moving out at close of escrow. And then the other side, is that on a month-to-month lease or is that a long-term lease?
It's a month-to-month.
Month-to-month. Okay. Got it. How long have they been there?
2 years.
2 years. All right. Got it. Have they, do they know that you're selling, or would this come as a shock to them?
I don't want to let them know until I'm ready.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
But once I know the house is going to sell, I'm going to go over there and talk to them.
Okay.
Because I don't want to screw her up, and it will in a way. You know, I mean, I've always been too nice a guy. I did force one out, and she didn't want to go. But and then I turned not quite as nice. But
God, I'm guessing that was to get your sister-in-law in.
Actually, it was. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And she was just all upset, and I said, "Well, it's nothing personal to you. That's for my sister-in-law, you know." And she said, "Well, that's not a good reason." I said, "Well, it's good enough for me." And she wasn't under lease. So
yeah.
Her her lease had ran out, and I just didn't renew it.
I gotcha. Okay.
Because she was going to take me to court and everything.
Oh, wow.
I
Yeah.
said, "You don't have a lease. You don't have a lease."
Yeah. Hey, I mean, people always tend to huff and puff and, try to, you know, flex
Oh
like they're
yeah,
gonna go to court and stuff. And, it's almost always easier to just move on, just ends up costing a bunch of money. So, um, so the current tenant that you have that's not your sister-in-law, what is their rent rate?
750. I've got it cheap. I've got it
750.
cheap.
Okay.
Everything's went up, but I just, I feel sorry for these young people.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. The affordability is just
People are telling me now. They say just an efficiency is going for $1,000.
mm,
And now I know out in California that's really low, but
yeah, you can't find anything for $1,000 other than
yeah,
I mean, some of these homeless encampments, they could probably charge more than $1,000 to sleep in their tent.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. I don't know what one like mine goes for right now.
mhm.
So I mean, I just know I'm cheap.
Yeah.
I just know I'm real.
If you had to guess, like what do you think a good guess might be that you would rent that for?
Oh, I think I could get it for over 1,000
Got it. Okay. All right. Perfect.
on each
And
side. On each side, yeah.
okay. All right. And is it a matching duplex? Both units are identical?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They're just mirror images of each other. Yeah.
Mirror units. Okay. And are they what's the bed bath count in each of them?
They're 2 bed, 1 bath.
Got it. Okay. And do you know the square footage?
I can look it up.
No worries. I was just
They're not
curious.
huge, but it's a decent 2-bedroom apartment. It's got a living room, kitchen, nice sized kitchen, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom.
Okay. All right. Perfect. How long have you been considering selling?
Well, actually serious about it just the last couple months because the wife finally gave in.
Been grinding her down for a while, huh?
Well, it really surprised me. It was her sister-in-law that made her think about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that kind of shocked me. She says, your husband's retired now, and he really wants to move to Michigan. and she told me, she says, do you know how much you can probably get out of that house? She looks things up like that all the time. I said, well, I've got a pretty decent idea. She says, well, you need to sell it because you're retired.
Oh man, she's doing the work for you. That's great.
She's wanting me to get her ass sell her place.
Yeah.
Then the wife told me, she says, if you sell that duplex, you're going to have to let her move into our house.
Yeah. See, that's where the real threat is. She's like, I got my eyes on their house, and let me see if I can upgrade.
And that might be because I don't know. It don't matter to me.
Hey, but you know what? It sounds like if it works out, then it'll be a win-win for everybody. You get to go to Michigan where you want to be. So
yeah, and my house is paid off, so that one's not quite paid off, but it's getting close.
oh, this one's not paid off. What do you think you owe on this one?
I owe 35 right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not too much.
Nice.
I was planning on selling it in the spring, which I'll be down to like 30 by then.
Okay. Got it. And did you end up refining during the historically low rates a few years ago at all, or no?
No, actually, I was in the process of doing that, and I was going to get a place up at Houghton Lake, and it was going to be just a weekly rental because Houghton Lake's a fairly popular lake up there. And I was going through everything, had had the financing all accepted and everything. All they needed to do was go through and give the duplex an appraisal. And so I called up the one renter that one day, and I told him, I said, there's going to be an appraiser come through there. And so make sure that the apartment's in decent shape.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got to talk to you, he says. He says, this is right across the street, but I hadn't been over there in a long time. I just, he'd come over, pay his rent, no problems. That apartment was trashed. It cost me like $14,000 to bring it back up to specs.
Oh man. Which unit was this?
That was the one on the south side.
Got it. Okay. So unit on south side.
I went through and completely redid it. There was a and I don't know how this happened. There was a hole in the bathroom floor that you could look down and see the dirt.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened. I mean, the place was trashed. And I went through with and I hired a couple handymen to help me, and now it looks real nice. I put new carpeting in it. I put new appliances in it. I put a new furnace in it. It looks real nice now. So,
nice. How long ago was that happened?
That was 2 years.
2 years ago.
Because the first one moved in is the one that lives there now.
Got it. Okay.
And that was towards the end of COVID, if you remember.
Oh yeah.
And I had a list of people that wanted to rent it as I was fixing it, because
nice.
a lot of people that I knew, their children had moved back home because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And this was towards the end of it, and they were wanting to get them back out. I think I had a list of 6 or 7 people that wanted to rent it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it was it's the one who got to rent it was the daughter of the bartender that I was going to, bar I was going to.
Oh, okay. Nice.
It was her daughter. Yeah. And she still, because I had lunch. Me and the wife had lunch there today, and I asked her, I said, how long's Kirsten been living in my place? And she says, about 2 years. I said, that's what I thought. Okay.
Wow.
I'm surprised she didn't ask me, why are you asking? You want to raise rent?
Yeah, actually.
I won't let her mom know until what I don't want to do is I don't want her to have to look at moving out if she don't have to.
Yeah, I got you. That makes sense.
But once there's a deal done, then I'm going to tell her, I'm selling the place.
Yeah.
And give her as much time as I can, but
Yeah, we work with a lot of sellers in that kind of situation, and they have tenants, and they don't want to ruffle the feathers quite yet until it's pretty set in stone. So we can definitely work with that. That's not a big deal at all. And then we'll just go from there. I guess what is this and the property you live in? Are these the only properties you currently own at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the only two of them. I'd have probably bought it more when the price fell out of it, but at that time, because of my age and everything, I thought, well, if something was to happen to me, then the wife would be stuck with them all, and she wasn't really wanting to do that.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm healthy. I'll probably be around another 20 years, but you never know. You never know.
Like our time on this planet is certainly not promised. That's for sure. And it's crazy. You turn around and all of a sudden somebody who's like 38, 40 something years old, and and they're just dropping dead, and it's like, what the heck happened? So.
Many people through Facebook, I've gotten reacquainted with a bunch of kids that I went to school with. Now we don't go out and do things, but we see each other on Facebook, talk back and forth, and they're dying.
Oh yeah.
I'm 66 and they're dying. Not fast, but there's been a couple of them that kind of tugged at the old heartstring.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're probably right around my dad's age. Let me think. So I turned 42 in 9 days, and then my mom was 18 when she had me. So I believe she
86.
turned 60 in December. She either turned 60 or 61 in December. And then my dad
Okay.
was 4 years older than her. So he's about either 64 or 65. So right around the same age.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, um, yeah. So, and I know, they've had some friends pass. My mom had a brain aneurysm and a stroke out of the blue 7 years ago. So yeah, I
Did that
think,
kill her?
what's
Yeah.
that?
Usually brain aneurysm. Yeah. Did that kill her?
No, no, she's still alive. So
Oh, okay.
great. Yeah, I mean, God is certainly good, man. He was watching out for her because, I mean, it's kind of a long story, but effectively, my sister, normally she wouldn't have been home at that time, and for whatever reason, she was home, and she found her on the kitchen floor. She'd passed out, and then they called the ambulance and everything. They got her to the hospital. The neurosurgeon, so basically the blood vessel where she had the aneurysm was like the largest
Uh-huh.
blood vessel in the brain. And he basically said after the fact, he's like, 25% of people die on the spot immediately, 25% of people die on the way to the hospital, another 25% of people die sometime at the hospital, and the other 25% have, long-term issues. And she's basically, I would say, probably like somewhere between 90 and 95%, like fully, you know, healed up and
That's
everything.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's great because I never heard of someone that's actually made it through an aneurysm.
yeah, yeah,
Almost everybody that I know had an aneurysm. That's what they died of.
yep.
In
Oh,
fact,
yeah.
I had a brother-in-law die about a year and a half ago from an aneurysm.
Mm,
It's just one of those things that can just happen. Boom, it's gone.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a split second. Yeah. And there's a very interesting story associated to it, but I won't get all into that. We don't have a ton of time. I could talk for hours. So, um, but yeah, but she's good. She's actually going to be moving in with us in the next 12 months or so, moving out here because my wife and I, we adopted a baby girl about 2 years ago, and so she wants to spend the rest of her time with the baby. So that'll be exciting.
So has your dad passed?
No, no, he hasn't passed, but they're, another long story. They're separating and, going their separate ways. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, but it is what it is, can't do
Yeah.
anything about
Yeah.
it. So,
Yeah.
but they're all amicable and everything. So, but
Yeah.
I digress. Um, yeah. So is it just yourself that owns the property, or is there anybody else on title that would need to be involved in the
Just
transaction?
me and my wife.
Just you and your
Just me
wife.
and my wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your wife's name?
Angela.
Angela. Okay. Awesome. And
She goes by Angel.
she goes by
That's what everybody calls her is Angel. Yeah.
Angel. Okay. All right. Perfect. Awesome. And you guys are pretty much all on the same page. Like she wouldn't be, upset at all
Oh yeah.
about selling.
No, no.
Okay. All
No,
right.
the only thing is if it happened tomorrow, it'd be a little quicker for her than for me. For
Okay.
me, I want to get rid of it and go find me a place.
Gotcha.
but,
Okay.
but Angel don't want to move till spring.
Okay. All right. All right. Makes
So that's
sense.
all. That I don't think that would be a big deal once we start pushing. But yeah, I told her, I said once it sells, it's going to be quick.
Yeah. Yeah, generally, I mean, we can be, fairly flexible, so we can work on your guys' timeline and everything. Our average close timeline is usually about 60 days, but it all depends
Okay.
on the seller situation. I mean, we've done stuff out 90 to 120 days, so we can be flexible and work with you guys on that. So that's not a problem at all. I know you mentioned that, like, part of the reason you were wanting to sell was because, you don't want to be left, you don't want if something happens to you, you don't want your wife to be left having to manage the property. So it sounds like
Right.
you know, you guys like the income that comes in, but it's the tenant, termites, and toilets that you wouldn't want to kind of like leave her handling.
You got that right.
Okay, all right. That makes total sense.
And
So,
actually, with his sister moving into our house,
mhm.
she pretty much takes care of her own stuff. I mean, she just had the refrigerator go out, and she went out and bought herself her own refrigerator.
Hmm.
And then she paid pretty good money for it. So,
Got it.
and
Okay.
I think they bought their own stove, and yeah,
Nice.
because she'll tell me about an appliance, I'm thinking, oh God, now I got to buy that. She'll say, I already took care of it.
Got it. Okay. Perfect. Is
Yeah.
she gonna leave
So,
that in the unit, or is she gonna want to move that across the street when she
no,
moves in?
that's going to be moved, and it'll probably be replaced by what we got in our house.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
We'll probably put the stove that we have over there and the refrigerator over there.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Well, let me ask you this. In a perfect world, what were you guys hoping to walk away with?
200,000.
200,000.
Yeah.
Okay. How'd you arrive at that number?
I looked it up. It ranges on Zillow and Redfin. It ranges between 175 and 225.
Got it. Okay.
And so I thought 200. One right next door to it. Okay, sold early in the start of all this stuff for 175, identical to it. The only problem was it wasn't in near as good a shape as mine.
Mm.
They had problems over there because that lady tried to sell that for years, and she always put it up for sale for right around 100,000.
Mm.
And she couldn't ever get it. In fact, it was offered to me at one time, and I thought, no, I know of the problems here, because I live right across the street. So it never sold. And then all of a sudden, when the housing went nuts here, she got a phone call. The original offer for her duplex was 225, but once they came and seen the problems that she had, she ended up with 175, and she was tickled pink.
Mm. Got it. Okay. All right.
So it's because they definitely had some problems over
Yeah.
there. But,
Okay. When's the last time you've looked online at like Zillow and Redfin and stuff?
oh, just the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Okay. So, you know, here's the situation. I'm really the last step before it gets to the underwriter. So I just, you know, hop on, gather the intel about the property and everything, and then it's submitted to the underwriters, and they're the ones that are going to run the numbers and, you know, determine whether it qualifies for an offer or not. So, you know, I'll go through some questions, just kind of get some more details about the property and everything, bring it to them, and then, you know, hopefully we can get it approved for an offer. All right.
Okay.
All right. So, before we talk about the inside of the house, I want you to kind of talk to me about like the outside of the house, the neighborhood. Like, what was it that made you want to buy this property in the first place?
Well, what made me want to buy it was across the street from where I just moved in.
Mm.
And I looked over there and I seen two duplexes, and I told the wife, I said, when one of those come up for sale, I'm going to buy it.
Nice.
And so a couple of years went by, and I come home from work one night, and she says, look across the street. There was a for sale sign up in front of the one I bought. So I called the realtor up, and I said, I want to buy this house.
Very nice. How long ago did you
And the
buy it?
neighborhood, huh?
How long ago did you buy it?
20 years ago,
20 years ago. Okay.
at least. Yeah, about 20 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. And you were about to say something about the neighborhood.
The neighborhood's an older neighborhood, as far as I think a lot of the houses were built around 1960, you know. But it's a good neighborhood. It's not run down or anything. There's good people that live in it. It's quiet. It's a nice neighborhood, you know. It's not a richy neighborhood, but it's a nice neighborhood.
Got it. Okay. All right.
And
Is it
people have been there a long time?
most of the people have been there a long time, you said?
Yeah, the only two turnover houses are the two duplexes.
Okay, got it. And are
But
most of
actually,
the other homes, are they mostly owner occupied, or you think it's a lot of rentals?
owner occupied.
Owner occupied.
Own,
Okay,
own, yeah.
gotcha.
And
Okay,
like I said, a lot of people have lived in them a lot of years.
yeah, nice. Well, that's good. A lot of people, when you see like a lot of turnover, that's generally not a good sign. So it's good to hear that a lot of people are sticking close. Um, Are there any, other than what runs directly to the house, are there any power lines that run like in the front, in the back, along either of the sides of the house or anything like that?
There's power lines that run in the back. Them are the ones that go to the houses that live on that side of the street. And I think there's a power line that goes on the south side of the property. Actually, it's right on the property line. And the ones in the back are right on the property line.
Okay. All right. Got it.
There's, there's nothing over top of the houses or anything.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Do you know what the speed limit is on your street there?
I think it's probably 30.
30.
I don't know
Okay.
if there's a speed limit sign, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. Got it.
It's a neighborhood. My road T's on each end. It's only about two blocks long, so
Oh, okay.
we don't even have a lot of pass through traffic.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So it's probably closer to 25 miles an hour. Usually those residential streets like that, it's going to be 25. So, okay. Are there any things wrong with the structure of the homes? Is there any like siding missing, gutters missing, anything like that?
Well, now I don't have gutters on it, but
Okay.
that was me. I took them off because I lived in Michigan. They don't have gutters up in Michigan,
Mm-hmm. Because they freeze.
and no, well, the reason they don't is because of the snow. The snow would pull them off.
Oh, got
But
it. Yeah.
I took them off because I've got a bunch of soft maples over there, and they just take them seeds and they drop them right in the gutters, and that
Mm,
was getting to be a real pain in the butt to keep them clean. And
yeah.
I don't care what you see on TV commercials with these gutter guards, they don't work.
Yep.
They never have, and they never will.
Yeah, yeah, those gutter guards. There's one set of gutter guards I've ever seen that actually do okay. Like the mesh ones are terrible because everything just sits in clogs on top of the mesh. But I've
Right.
seen some where it's actually just like a flat piece of metal with like a little ridge, and then on the edge it kind of like curls over like a bullnose on like a stair and then rolls back in, and then that way like the water kind of like runs off, and then like any of the items will kind of like fall off the side. But those
Right.
ones, they're way more expensive, and it's
Yeah.
like, do you really want to spend all that? Just go clean the gutters out. um
Well, and like I said, with all them seeds, and I asked, I said, whoever invented gutters, and especially in states like I live in, and probably
mhm.
California too, they made a killing.
Oh
They
yeah.
made a killing for no good reason.
Hmm.
And people say, "Yeah, craft your foundation and everything." You know what? If you plant plants around your house, it
Hmm.
won't even mess with your foundation
Oh yeah, exactly.
because the plants break up that water and then they suck it up.
Yep. Oh yeah, 100%.
And it was funny, the fellow that lived behind me, because I live on a corner,
Hmm.
so there was a fellow that lived behind me. He seen me take them off and everything, and then few weeks went by. And me and him wasn't that friendly at that time, just because I didn't know him.
Yeah.
And he seen me. He says, "When you gonna put your gutters back up?" I said, "I'm not." He says, "Well, what about the rain? You just gonna let it fall on the ground?" I said, "Say what you just said and think about what you just said." And he
Uh,
thought, "Oh, okay."
next thing you know, he's taking his gutters off, right?
Yeah, but yeah, when I first moved up there, I got to look around. I said, "There's no daggone gutters on these houses." And I
Mm,
asked the young fellow, really, I said, how come you guys don't have gutters on your house? He says, because the snow would tear them off. I said, that makes sense.
mm. Yep. Oh yeah.
So no, I don't have it on my house. Don't have
Okay.
them on the house.
All right. What about any other like structural things or siding missing or anything like that?
No, I've got on the south side, in on the siding, there's a couple holes because there was at one time a carport on that side,
Mm.
and that's where a couple of the anchor bolts had went through. And when I took down the carport, them holes were left, and
Got
I
it.
was just going to mow it, but
Okay. So a couple holes for the anchors to the carport. Um, all right.
other than that, I think it's in pretty good shape.
Okay.
Now
Anything
I got
in,
it.
sorry, go ahead.
I've got to paint the backside, the eaves and stuff. I do got to do that. They look pretty ugly right now, and I'm going to get at that after, not next week, but the week after,
You said you're going to paint
because I'm
those?
going on a fishing trip next week.
Oh, you're going on a fishing trip next week? Nice. Where are you headed?
Yeah, Real Foot.
Okay. Nice.
You ever been down there? Probably
Nope.
not. No. You're out in California.
Yeah. I've been to Indiana before. I've been to Indianapolis. I drove, so when I moved across country, I drove across Pennsylvania and then down through like Ohio and Indianapolis and all that. But yeah, never really spent a whole lot of time out there other than just driving through. So,
Yeah.
all right. So you said you're going to paint the eaves in a couple weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just the back part where the eaves and fascia board and everything like that.
Okay. I got you. All right. Is there anything in the back of the house that we can't see, like a pool, a shed, a barn, any other structures?
No, matter of fact, that yard has a very short backyard.
Mm.
It's got a couple halfway decent side yards, but it's got a very short backyard. And the people that own the property that meets up against it,
Mm-hmm.
they keep an eye on their boundary, which is really kind of silly because we're all easy to get along with people around here.
Yeah.
And their backyard that butts up against it, it's not used. It's
Huh.
some old lady in her 80s that lives there, and she don't even cut it anymore. But
Oh,
she's got
geez.
two sons that keep their eye on that property line, and one has come over and talked to me about it
Wow.
one time because I had a renter that had moved in there before my sister-in-law did, before the other gal had, and he wanted to put a driving range in the backyard for his golf. All he was doing was putting up a net.
Yeah.
That lapped over the property by about 4 feet at the most.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a big backyard,
Yeah.
big. And he come over and knocked on my door and said something. And I went over and looked at it, and I said, that's not really much at all. Oh my God, that's quite a bit. He says, my brother, he's going to fence this whole backyard in. I'm thinking cost, because it's a big backyard. And I looked at him. I said, you tell your brother he's more than welcome to fence that, but he
Yeah.
better be on the right property line, because I will have it surveyed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, if we're going to split hairs, then let's split hairs.
That's right. And it just so happens my next door neighbor's daughter owns a surveying company, so she'd come out and do it for free, probably.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
But anyway,
Awesome.
I never heard anything else after that.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right. Cool. I think that gives me a lot for the outside. What I'd like you to do now, Jim, is just, kind of walk me through the home. So I guess let's start
Okay.
with, you said they're mirror images. So that's good. But let's start with the south side unit. That's the one that that's not the one your
No,
sister-in-law lives in, right?
that's correct. That's
Okay.
the one that's a Barker's daughter lives in.
Okay. All right. Got it. So south side unit. So walk me in and, when I walk through the door, I mean, this one was built, let's see here. You said it was built in the 1950s. It doesn't look like 1951 when we walk in, right? Because I know you said you remodeled some.
Oh, no, 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 no. You walk in, it looks like a new house.
Got it. Okay.
You go in, you're in the living room.
Mhm.
It's got brand new carpet in there. Well, it's 2 years old now, but
Okay. All right.
you go through the living room, you go into the kitchen. Just a archway, not an archway, but a square opening.
Yep.
You go into the kitchen. You got your refrigerator on your left side on the wall that's attached to the living room, and then you got on the wall that shares the outside wall. The
Mhm.
first one you got sink, counters, cabinets. Then the back wall is where their washer and dryer is. Oh, and there's a stove by the cabinets.
The
Then
washer and dryer is in the kitchen?
yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, so fridge, washer, dryer, stove. Is there a dishwasher?
No,
No dishwasher. Okay. And then what about no built-in microwave, right?
not built in. No,
Microwave.
they
Okay.
have to bring their own microwave. I don't furnish a microwave.
Got it. Okay. All right. So they got the fridge, the washer, the dryer. Are all of those, do those three items match as far as color wise? Like, are they all white? Are they all black, stainless steel?
All white.
All white. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So all white appliances. Um, and those were all replaced like 2 years ago, you said?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, cool. What about the cabinets and the countertops? Is that original or did you redo all that too?
Put them in.
Nice.
Then
Okay.
we're new. We're new.
So new cabinets and new counters. Do you know what kind of countertops they are?
Uh, they look like stone, but they're not.
Okay, got it. So some sort of composite material.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
They look good.
Nice. It's good, like rental grade type of material. Nothing, no,
Oh.
not the cheap, super cheap Formica stuff, but not like granite.
Right.
Got it. Okay. All right. Um,
Nope.
what about the
Now
Sorry, go ahead.
let's go back into the living room
Uh-huh.
where the doorway is to the kitchen. On the right, if you're facing the back of the house, on the right is where the little hall space is, and then there's a bathroom. I'm not a bathroom, a bedroom on each side of that little hall space.
Okay.
It's just a square. It's just a square.
I
And
gotcha.
then on through it is where the bathroom is.
Got it. Okay. All right. And is the bathroom original to the build?
No. It's all new.
Okay. All new. Okay. So you did new vanity, counters, new tub, toilet, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even the new floor in there.
Oh, nice. Very
That's
nice.
the one you could see the dirt through. I don't know how that happened. I really don't know how.
Is it a raised foundation or is it on a slab?
No, it's got a crawl space. It has a
Oh,
crawl.
okay. Got it. All right.
Oh, most of the houses around here are all crawl space.
Oh, okay. All right. Is there any moisture down there that you're aware of?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay. And the bath enclosure, is that just like what kind of tub and shower setup is that? Is it all tile? Is
Yeah,
it like
no, it's a whole insert over top of the original bath and the wall insert and everything like that. It was all done through bath fitter.
oh,
The one
bath
who put
fitters?
that
Okay.
in.
Bath fitters.
Because the tub that was originally there, the finish on it was in terrible shape.
Got it. Okay.
So I had to take care of that, and I did.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. All right. And then Okay, so that's the south side unit. So the north side unit, has that all been updated as well, or that side needs
It,
work?
it, it's been updated, but in a different way.
Okay. All right.
And when you walk into the living room, there is no carpeting in that at all.
Okay.
And that's because they have dogs.
Got it. Okay. So is that like a vinyl floor or is it laminate?
Hardwood.
It's hardwood. Okay.
Hardwood. Yeah.
All right.
And as a matter of fact, I had the living room. Well, I had all of them completely redone, the hardwood floors, and they looked really good. Well, the
Nice.
living room's got a stain in it now, and it's not from her dogs. It's from a couple that lived there right after I had them done.
Mm.
And they had a dog that peed in there. And
Oh, God.
evidently they left it on the floor too long
Oh,
because it's
geez.
stained.
Okay. So
So they, of
it's
course,
seeped.
they of course, lost their deposit when they moved.
Gee.
And then they couldn't understand why. I said, you wouldn't. I paid a lot of money to have that floor redone.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's rough.
I paid more money to have it redone than I got on their deposit. Let's put it that way.
Oh, I can imagine. So was
Yeah.
it not sealed?
Evidently, he didn't seal it. He just, well, I don't know if he sealed it or not. He did refinish it and restain it and everything. So I don't know. Maybe not.
Huh. Okay.
It does have a stain on it though.
Got it. All right.
It's not real bad. It's not real awful, but it was enough that it pissed me off.
Yeah. You
Because I
think
knew it could have been taken care of if it was just cleaned up.
yeah. You think it's something that, we could refinish and get that out of?
Oh, I'm sure it could. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sure it could. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the kitchen there. Is that been updated or is that original?
Well, the kitchen's not as updated. No, it's got the original cabinets in it. It does have, well, you're not going to get the refrigerator and stove, but I'll have decent refrigerator and stove in there.
Okay.
The countertop is new on the sink, but that's it. Didn't put any new cabinetry in there.
Okay. Do you know what kind of counter that one is? Is it the same as the other one?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay. Got it.
And the cabinets are just older in years, not as far as they're not tore up or anything.
Okay. Got it. All right. And then what about the bathroom in that unit?
Okay, the bathroom, we put a new sink cabinet in there.
Vanity?
These bathrooms, vanity. These bathrooms are pretty small. And then the tub is in good shape, and I put new wall coverings on it when I bought it. That they've been in there now for 20 years. But overall, I mean, it's a decent looking bathroom. It's not new looking though.
Got it. Okay. So it's like the original tub and then 20-year-old wall coverings. So it's not like the bath fitter like you have in the other unit.
No, it's not.
Okay. All right. Got it.
But that one was in horrible shape, and this one wasn't.
Yeah.
So,
Got it. Okay. All right. Perfect. And all right, let me ask you this. This question people always get a kick out of. Let's say you won some sort of sweepstakes, right? And they're like, here you go, here's $40,000. The only catch is you have to put it into this house to update this house. What things would you do to the house?
I've already done it. I mean, I don't need a new furnace because they both got pretty new furnaces in them.
Okay.
The one thing that I haven't told you about, the north side that my sister-in-law lives in, it's got central air in there. The south side, yeah, the south side has a couple well, actually it has 3 window units.
Okay.
I didn't put the central air in the south side because that was the last one I redid, and I remembered how much I paid for that on the north side, and I'm thinking these are small apartments; they don't need central air.
Well, yeah, and they're not your sister-in-law, so who cares?
Right. Well, I hate to tell her. Well, she knows. My house, and it's a lot bigger, but I use central air. I mean, I
Mhm.
use window air. I use
Mm.
window air.
Oh, she's gonna have to get used
And
to
I tell
that.
you what, it's cheaper
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
because when my air conditioning went out in this house and I had central air, my wife was in the hospital.
Mm.
It was, and I was thinking that summer I'm just not going to get air this summer because it's so expensive.
Yeah.
No, when it come time for her to come home, we were having the worst heat of the summer, and I knew I couldn't bring her home in that kind of heat. So I ran out and bought me a couple window air units and stuck them in.
Mm.
And then I went and got her. Well, a buddy of mine who lives down the road, he says, "Man, that's going to cost you a fortune to run them." I said, "Well, we'll see." First electric bill I got, I looked at it, and it was pretty damn cheap. So I asked him, I said, "How much did you guys pay on your electric bill last month?" He said, "Oh, I'm not sure. I don't really know. I have to ask Mary Ann." I said, "Well, I was under 100."
Nice.
You know, and so and now my electric bill is on budget,
Mhm.
and well, this is my house, not theirs,
Yeah.
but it's got air, and I'm on budget, and it costs me $91 a month on budget. So
Oh, that's great.
yeah,
That's yeah, definitely whatever you do, don't move to California.
yeah, yeah. Well, I know California's expensive as hell, and I've got some cousins that live out there in California,
Yeah.
but they don't like me, so that's okay.
Well, that's why they're in California, right?
That's right.
Oh man.
I told them that if they weren't raised in California, they wouldn't think the way they think.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh yes, we would. I said, no, you wouldn't.
Yeah, it's a wildly different world. I grew up in Philadelphia, and I'm guessing, I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong. My guess is you probably lean a little bit more to the right. Am I wrong about
I
that?
lean far right.
Far right. Okay, cool. So you and I are on the same
Yeah.
page here. Yeah. So, all right, good. Well, yeah. So, I mean, I grew up in Philadelphia and I moved out here, and it's beautiful out here, but man, San Diego is probably the more conservative area in California, just with all the military presence. But man, some of the policies out here are wild, like, I mean, the homeless is getting really bad, and they're not really doing anything about it. And we just got our electric bill for last month. Now, for context, we live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo, like townhouse condo,
Oh,
960 square feet, and it's over $500.
yeah. My house is 1,200 square feet, and it's 90.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's wild. And yeah, so yeah, it's crazy. But what are you gonna do? It just keeps on going up. So
Well, and it does. It goes up everywhere. Not as bad out here, but and Michigan's not too bad
yeah,
because I lived up there for a while. Their property taxes are higher, but they do more.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Where I live before now where I'm going to live, I'm sure the property taxes are pretty low. But
Yeah.
where I lived before, when I lived up there, they even cleaned our sidewalks off
Oh, nice.
with the snow. Yeah, I looked outside the first big snow we had, and I'm thinking my sidewalks are clean.
You're actually getting some value from the local government. That's amazing. I wish we got
Oh yeah,
value from the local government here.
yeah. Well, see, now we're cheaper in Indiana, but I don't know. I don't know what they. I mean, my streets are in good shape and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like I get as much value here. But
Yeah, I hear you. Well, what can we do other than just complain to each other, right? So,
I can vote. That's all I can do is I can vote.
yep, exactly. Well,
I do vote.
is there anything else, anything that I haven't asked you that you might need help with when it comes to the sale of this property?
The only thing that I know that might be a problem is it's got 2 fuse boxes that don't have any breakers.
Okay, got it. So we're gonna have to update the electrical. Okay. All right.
And I've thought about changing that, but I never had a good reason.
Yeah, got it. Okay. All right. Um, okay. Perfect. Well, so everything that you've been giving me, Jim, what I've been doing is I've been putting this straight into our system. And what that does, it goes right back to our underwriters. They're running a report that will tell them everything that they need to know about the property. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run back there real quick. I'm going to check in on them and see what they've come up with. Do you mind if I put you on a brief hold?
No, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. And by the way, there's no like fancy hold music or anything like that, so you'll just be sitting in silence. But if you need to step away
That's
to do
all I got.
anything, I'll be right back. All right.
Yo,
What's up?
I had it underwritten a long time ago, obviously, because I started at the beginning before the call. What's up, Tony?
What is up?
What do you think? What do you think the numbers on this are? I got the numbers here that I was thinking. Um, $1 million in repair. I'm just kidding, but cash purchase range obviously is going to depend upon the repair numbers. It looks like, you know, he said the fuse box, or is it like there we need to rewire the entire house?
Said he has fuse boxes, no breakers.
No break.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I could circle back and find out about
He's gonna need a new panel.
yeah, for both units probably.
So I'm thinking really, honestly, it's probably a 60K job from everything that you shared.
Yeah, one
Um,
half of the duplex is already renovated, so the other half,
How's the
is
roof?
I didn't get to that yet. Usually I'll circle back after I do two holds. So I'll come back, I'll put them on another hold. Come back, ask a few more questions and then put
What
them on
kind of
another
windows do they
hold.
got?
Trip
That's
Vinyl?
panel
usually
build
something we
guard.
get on the they look like vinyl. Yeah, they look like vinyl.
Okay.
Let me pop
Well,
back on. I'll
all right.
get
Yeah,
those couple pieces of info real quick. Hey Jim, you there?
I'm here.
Hey, sorry. So I don't have good news or bad news for you yet. Actually, I had a few more questions. My apologies for not asking. I kind of got caught up in just some, personal questions. So, the hot water heaters, how old are those?
They're fairly new. They're
Okay.
fairly new.
Okay. So those are
Yeah.
newer. What
Yeah.
about the roof? How old's the roof?
Probably about 7 or 8 years old.
7 or 8 years old. Okay. And no leaks.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. And what about the windows? How old are those?
Uh, well, I had new ones put in when I bought the place,
Okay.
so that's about 24, 25 years old. But they're the replacement windows. They're vinyl. They're in good shape.
Okay. Got it. All right. And when you sit with regards to the electrical, so there's no breaker panels at all, so we'll need to put new panels in.
Yeah,
Okay. What about the wiring in the house? Has any of that been updated?
I don't believe so.
Got it. Okay. All right.
Not under me. Let's put it that way. Not under me.
Okay. Got it. And it was built in 51, right?
No, I'm thinking 50. I don't know. It was in the 50s. It was in the 50s.
Okay. All right. Got it. So,
I'm pretty sure it was in the 50s. I don't really know when it was built. I didn't live here then.
got it. Okay.
I know my house was built in 58. My house was built in 58 because I thought, well, hell, that's built the year I was born.
Nice. Okay. All right. And going back to the windows, are those single pane or double pane windows?
Double pane.
Double pane. Okay, perfect. Um, What about any plumbing issues?
Plumbing's in pretty good shape.
Okay.
I have a regular plumber that every time I have any kind of problems, I give him a call and he comes over and fixes.
Nice. Okay, perfect. And other than the mortgage, are there any other liens on the property that we should be aware of?
Absolutely none.
None. Okay, got it. And then is this is on a city sewer, right? It's not a septic system?
It's a septic system.
Oh, it is a septic system. Okay, got it. Glad I asked.
I've only had the septic cleaned twice since I've owned it, and the last time was probably about 3 years ago. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that.
Years ago. Okay. No issues with that.
No.
Okay. Got it.
But see, that was one of the issues with the duplex that was next door to mine. They had septic problems. Now, I know what was wrong because they don't have the septic problems anymore. She always had too many people living there
Oh, got it.
when
And
I first moved in.
okay. And it's just one septic system for the whole duplex, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Do you know how many gallons the tank is?
No, but I've never had any problem with it.
Okay. All right. Got it. Okay. Perfect. And
On one side there's 3, and the other side there's 2 people. But it's only a 2-bedroom. You don't want to knock them through with 5 or 6 Mexicans. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I hear that. Oh man. Okay. And all right, aside from the house, I mean, what would you still need to figure out before you could actually sell?
Nothing.
Okay. Got it.
I just need to buy a house.
Okay. All right. But you don't need this one to sell to be able to go do that, right? Like it's not.
Oh, I do need this to sell. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do need this to sell because I'm going to pay cash for what I buy up there.
Got it. Okay. So you're going to take the funds from this to go buy whatever you buy.
Right.
Okay. Got it. But okay. So let me ask you this, right? Because your sister-in-law is living in this, right? So let's say you sell this one, before you buy a house up in Michigan. What's your sister going to do? Like if we need to close and like it needs to be vacant at close of escrow, like is she just going to move in with you guys while you're looking for the place in Michigan, or how would that work?
Yeah, that's what would have to happen.
Okay. All right. But it doesn't sound like that would be a big challenge for you guys.
It would be a bit of a challenge because of their dogs.
Oh, got it.
She lived here before,
Mm-hmm.
but now her son lives with her. But he's a man. It would be a little uncomfortable, but we could make it work.
Okay. All right. Got it. Okay. And I mean, if the underwriter was to come back with an offer that made sense for you, I mean, our average close timeline is usually about 60 days. We can be flexible. I mean, is that doable for you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And if we can get an offer approved for the property today, do you mind if I just tell you real quick how the process works?
Go ahead.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
once a home is approved and you accept our offer today, we sign a simple agreement. It's written in 3rd grade English, not to insult your intelligence, but it's just super easy to understand. After
I'm a
that,
pretty simple man, so.
perfect. Yeah, that's what we like, is just do things super simple and straightforward, right?
Yep.
Once that happens, within 48 hours, you'll get a call from our transaction coordinator, and she'll line up for us to get in and get photos of the house. The title company will make sure that there's a clear title for closing. We might schedule to do a few walkthroughs with, either some of our contractors or financial partners. And then we head to the closing table so you can get paid. It's really that simple. All right. The last thing
now, I do have a question for you.
Sure.
With you talking like that, it brought up a question.
Sure.
I paid my house 2 years ago, the house I'm living in.
Yep.
I never got a title. Where do I get the title?
You never got a title. Do you own your house outright, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I went down to the town that has all Franklin, which is a town close to us that has the courthouse that keeps the records.
Yep.
And I asked them for a copy of my deed, and they give me a copy of my deed, and that copy of my deed's just a written receipt that says I paid it off. Is that my title?
No, there should be, you should have like an actual formal title. You
See, we
could,
wouldn't get the title in Indiana till it was paid off. We're not like with vehicles and stuff. We
Mhm.
never get the title to our vehicles until they're paid off.
Got it. Who did you, what title company did you perform the transaction through? Do you know?
Originally,
Yeah.
when I bought the place, I can't tell you.
Okay.
I don't know.
Got it.
That's been almost 30 years ago.
Yeah. What you could do if you go to the county recorder's office, they should have a record of who performed that transaction, because all that documentation would have to be recorded. And so you could go down to them and they could probably pull up the information for you and tell you who handled that. And then what I would do is I would reach out to them and see if they have any documentation they can provide to you.
Okay, because and my sister-in-law asked me the same thing because she paid off her house, and she says, "Where do we get a title at?" I says, "I don't know." So that's when I went down because I thought the deed and the title was the same thing. Evidently, I was wrong.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I would start there with the county recorder's office and talk to them and
Okay.
try to track down who performed the transaction for you previously.
Okay.
All right. So the last thing that they wanted me to ask you is if we can get to a number that makes sense for both of us, would you be ready to move forward with a purchase agreement today?
Sure. Well, maybe tomorrow. I have to say something to the wife.
Oh, yeah, of course you got to say something to the wife.
I learned that from my father years ago.
I hear you. I hear you. My dad used to always tell me, he's like, the main words you need to know when you're married is "you're right, dear, I'm sorry."
Well, I hadn't been married long. I was single for a long time. I hadn't been married long. And he told me, he called and asked if I wanted to do something. I said, sure. And he says, don't you think you need to ask your wife? And I'm thinking, why?
Oh man. Yeah, we all learned that one way or another.
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna run back to them. I'm gonna see what they've come up with. Do you mind if I put you on another hold real quick?
No, go ahead.
All right, be right back. All right, guys. What are we thinking? Christian, are you on a call? Sounds like he's on a call. Okay. What do you think, Tony? What do you think repairs are? You there, Tony? Can you hear? You're muted.
Probably say at least maybe 75 to be safe.
Yeah. And so that would be renovating the unit that has not been updated.
Mm-hmm.
That's the electrical.
How big is that
Right.
unit?
I think they're both about, I think the total property is about 1,500 square feet.
1,500.
So,
Well, half of it's renovated already, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
So I was putting the repair estimator based off of the whole 1,400. So I was looking at probably $40 a square foot, which is 39, plus an additional 15,000 for electrical panels, electrical work, plus 10. So we're probably looking at about $54,000 worth of repair, actually. What do you
50,
think?
55, yeah.
With
What do you think?
with new electrical, full new electrical in that one, or in that probably in that whole building, right?
Yep, $15,000 worth at a discount. That would be a discount, right? So
Yeah, I'd probably say like, yeah, 15 grand would be.
nailed it. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I yelled. I'm just excited.
So,
All right.
so you're thinking about 55 total?
Yeah, I think. Tony, what do you think? We're underwriting live.
That,
Yeah.
that'd be. I
So
can go
that
with
puts us between 103 and 123.
Yeah, so we could probably come up on our offer that I originally underwrote in there somewhere between 120 and 130. It's not going to make him happy, but if he's thinking about
Wait,
listing,
how,
the
no,
benefit.
how are you coming up to that? Because I did 265 ARV times 0.75 minus 55,000 in renovations minus 40 to get to our low offer of 103 and then
Oh,
plus
you did the
20
40. Yeah.
to
Okay.
123. So somewhere between 100 and 125.
Yeah. Well, that's what I had originally put there. But yeah, if you want to 103 to 118, we could go a little bit higher.
I would start, I'm going to start on the low cash, but what do you think an as is would sell for? Because we can pivot this to innovation, right? And get him more.
Yeah, I think it probably would sell for anywhere from 175 to 180, honestly. Like if it's cash flowing, if somebody wants to be, fixing just a couple things up. In other words, if they have to do the electrical, there's going to be more work.
Yeah, that doesn't change
Um,
our number a whole lot. That would put us at like a 132 MAO.
yeah. So,
So, um, hmm, okay. And he's looking for the cash out of this to close on another property. So this is not gonna, I mean, I'll keep the rapport high. And so for any of you who are watching on YouTube, I'm gonna show you a tactic from Never Split the Difference, where you basically label the negative emotions that you believe are going to come out when you're about to say something. And so you preemptively, if you've ever seen 8 Mile, right at the very end of 8 Mile, where Eminem's character he goes first in the final rap battle, and he basically says everything the guy would say about him, right, in his rap. That's what he's doing. He's just labeling all the negativity against him. So now the other person has no negativity that they can actually spew onto you because he's already done it and ripped the rug out from under him. So it undercuts everything, right? And it allows you to maintain a high level of rapport and continue negotiating. So I'll show you
call me
guys
a
how we
bean
do that.
counter. Call the underwriters
Yes.
bean counters. That's funny.
Yep. Yeah. In like 1973, it's funny.
Them bean counters.
All right, here we go. Jim. All right, Jim, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right,
Sounds
man.
like you went through a fight.
Say that again.
Sounds like you went through a fight when you got on the phone.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's I'll tell you, man, it's this job. It's very interesting, man. I find myself, these guys, man, they sit in a computer room looking at spreadsheets all day long, and all
Yeah.
they do is count beans all day long. That's their whole job, just freaking bean counters. And I'm constantly just like going to war with them, and trying to make things happen. Because at the end of the day, I don't get paid unless you get paid. So,
Right.
but I do have some good news for you. I want to congratulate you. So the property was approved to be purchased. All right. This
Okay.
is actually the first property in Indiana that they've approved for me all month. So let me explain exactly what they've approved. All right. Now,
Okay.
the offer was approved to buy the property as is. They approved the closing to be within 60 days. There's no commissions that would be taken out. All the closing costs would be covered by us. Now, they just, contrary to popular belief, we don't have an endless supply of money. So just to make sure none of the funds get used on another property, what they do is they put those funds into a virtual withdrawal account. So they're set aside for this property. You got that pen and piece of paper that you grabbed earlier?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to have you write down this number. This is the virtual withdrawal account number where the funds have been set aside.
Okay.
So the account number is VW, like Volkswagen,
Okay.
3724.
Okay.
All right. Now, good news is they approved the offer. Here's the
Okay.
situation. When I tell you the offer, you're probably going to be thinking to yourself like, oh man, these scumbag investors, they're just trying to take my house, like they're lowballing me.
No, because I don't have to sell it. I can say yes or no.
Yeah, exactly. So don't kill the messenger. I've had a great conversation with you. Love talking to you, and I feel like we get along really well. The approved offer for your property in its current condition, cash, you don't even have to sweep it up, is $103,798.
No.
Kind of figured you were going to say that.
and that's an absolutely no.
I hear you. I completely understand. That's just what they authorized me to spend on this.
Yeah.
Just so just because like I said, I feel like we had a really good relationship, here, and you've been great talking to. If everybody was as easy to talk to as you are, my job would be a heck of a lot easier. You wouldn't imagine some of the things I've had said to me on calls. So I appreciate just, how pleasant you've been. Let me just give you a little bit of perspective as to what's going through their mind when they're coming up with the numbers. Just, it's probably not going to change anything on your end, but I just want you to kind of understand what they're considering when they're coming up with those numbers. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically the first thing that they always look at is they're going to look at if they buy the house and they renovate the property, what is the maximum dollar amount that they could sell the property for on market right away? Okay. So they start
Yeah.
there. And in this situation, they're figuring if it was fully renovated, tip top shape, they could probably sell the property for about $250,000. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So once they get to that number, everything gets backed off of that number. So they start at 250 and then they say, okay, well, when we sell it, we're going to have to hire an agent. And then the buyers who come to buy it, they're going to have an agent. So there's generally, you have all the commissions when we sell it, you have the closing costs, you have the buyer requests for repairs. And right now, what we're seeing on 95% of our listings that sell is buyers are looking for a seller concession to buy down their interest rate. And that usually is about $4 or $5 grand. So all in, those costs are usually about 10% of the sale price. So when you take that 250, they have to take 10% off of that. So now that brings us to about 2.25. Okay. The other thing
Yeah.
that they look at is what is it going to take to get it up to that $250,000 value. And so in this scenario, they're basically considering that they'll have to redo the electrical throughout the whole building. Okay, since it's probably the original electrical and there's no breaker panels. The panels these days, I don't know the last time you looked at doing a breaker panel, but you're talking anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 per panel. So they've got
To
that
have them done or just to purchase the panel itself?
fully installed. Yeah,
Oh, fully installed?
yeah,
Okay.
fully installed, about $4,000 to $6,000 per panel. So, that's about $8 to $12,000 there. I mean, we'd probably get it done for somewhere around, $9,500 when it's all said and done for us. Um, then they're going to have to remodel. They're looking at remodeling the unit that your sister is in. And generally speaking, they're going to take the square footage, which is probably about 750 square feet, right? Because I think the whole building is about 1,500. So they're about 750 square feet, and it's about $35 per square foot. So if you take 750 times $35 a square foot, that's an easy calculation to figure out, okay, floors, paint, fixtures, light fixtures, outlets, kitchen, bath, the whole shebang, top to bottom, right? So that's about $27,000. You've got, the
Okay.
10,000.
You don't need to go through everything. I mean, I understand where they're at and everything like that.
Yeah.
All I need is to buy my house is an investor that uses common sense, not all the formulas.
Okay. I got
You
you.
know, the guy that bought the duplex next to mine,
Hmm.
he bought it, he turned around and he rented it out. He didn't do that much to it.
Yeah.
And she got 175 and all that kind of stuff. But no, it's we're not a big business. We don't do all that kind of crap. We just try and buy it and make money. And
Yeah.
I've done pretty good with this.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
but I don't need to know every formula they use and stuff like that. It's not really that important.
I got you. No, I understand. Just trying to give you a little more perspective. So, I mean, and all
Yeah.
that's before we make any money on it. If we flip it, there might be some wiggle room I can get from them on it.
No, you
But
can't.
it's not going to be.
You can't double it. They're not
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
double it.
exactly.
You
You're
know?
totally right there. Definitely not going to be able to double it.
Right.
So, um, just out of curiosity, like when you go to buy, because I know you said you're going to take the funds from this to go buy the house in Michigan. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of price points are
Yeah.
you looking at up there in Michigan?
Believe it or not, now this is because it's north.
Hmm.
Because it's north, we're looking at between 60 and 120.
Okay, nice.
And that's given us a little bit of acreage. It can be on a lake. It don't have to be on a lake. I mean, up there it's just a lot more reasonable.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, got it.
But
So to get, like worst case scenario, so let's say max, you end up finding a property up there and it ends up being 120. You've got the mortgage on your current place at 35. So basically like right around like 150, 160 range would effectively get you the new house, cover your existing mortgage is kind of what I'm hearing.
the very, very lowest I would go on this house is 175. If I had to go that low, I think I know someone right down the road who'd probably pick it up.
Got it. Okay. So 175. Oh, okay. All right.
And I'm not under any pressure.
Yeah.
I figure on really doing this in the spring, and if it comes to spring, and I told her, I said, what I'm going to do this winter, I'm not going to market it. I said, I do get these phone calls from people wanting to know if I want to sell it.
Yep.
I'll try them, but when it comes time that I really want to move it, I'm just going to get me a realtor and move it.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're still selling pretty daggone quick around here.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And they're selling for more than list price.
Okay. What do you think, if you were to list it, like right now, what do you think you would probably list it for?
200.
200. Okay. Got it. Okay. Man. All right. Well, I mean, that 175, I mean, you think that's the absolute best you could possibly do on this, just so I can let the underwriters know?
Oh yeah, that's absolutely the best I'm going to do on it. If I couldn't get 175 out of it, I just ain't gonna move.
Got it. Okay. So if they came back at like 173, it wouldn't even be worth calling.
Well, maybe 173 it might be, but
I got you. Okay. All right. Well,
the 165 is out.
got it. Okay. All right. All right. Well, Jim, I appreciate you taking the time today. And, like I said, it's been great getting to know you and everything. I'll bring it back to the underwriters. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get them up that high. But I'll
Right.
certainly go back to them. I know they've got probably about 10 other properties they're looking at right now. So let me go to bat on it. Let me work with them. I'll see what the best I can absolutely get them to come up to. I mean, like I said, I don't get paid unless you get paid. So
Right.
I'll go to bat for you, see if I can make something happen. And then,
Well, if they don't act like they're willing to come way up, don't let it bother you. Just get a hold of someone else.
yeah,
Just,
yeah,
just go to work with someone else.
yep. Yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
In other words, don't waste time on it.
I got you. No, I understand. And I appreciate you telling me that. Um, just curious. I don't know if this would even make sense for your situation. We do buy homes a couple different ways. Um, some of those ways are like we take over people's mortgages, or we do like a small down payment while we're doing renovations and some monthly payments, and then pay it off after a period of time. I mean, is anything kind of like in that ballpark, doing something like that, if I could get them to come up a little bit more?
About the only thing that they could do is pay the balance off, which is about 35,000. It's within plus or minus 1,000 of that.
Mhm.
They could pay that off and then give me the balance of what I want, because that's all that's going to happen is I'm going to pay it off and then take the balance.
I got it.
And the balance be very least the 35 off of the 175. That makes it 140.
Got it. Okay. So we're still talking about, about a 170, 175 purchase price.
Yeah, we're still talking 175.
Got it. Okay.
Don't get too excited about 170. We're still talking 175.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Okay. All right. But would you be open to taking that balance like over a period of time?
No, because I need it to buy me a house.
Okay. All right. When do you think you're going to identify a house up there?
Well, I know I'm running up there the second week of October. I'm going to take a trip up there, me and the wife are.
Got it.
And we're going to look at areas then. But if it came to where, okay, we're looking like we're going to get a deal done, I might actually get a hold of a realtor and start looking in the houses instead of just around it. Because I told her there's a couple of towns that we're looking at, but we don't know nothing about them towns. All we see them is something on a map.
Yeah. Got it.
I never lived that far north.
Okay.
But then I think, hell, it's just good old country folk. Their rednecks are just like our rednecks.
Yeah.
We all get along.
Yeah, their necks just aren't quite as red because they don't get as much sun up there.
That's right. I mean, I've got friends from down there that, it's been 26 years. I mean, from up there, it's been 26 years since I've lived up there, and we still keep in contact.
Nice.
So.
Okay. All right.
There are some folks that they root for the wrong college teams.
Yeah. I hear that. All right. Well, it sounds like the only way that we'd be able to make something work is just with a straight cash deal, no type of terms or anything like that.
Right.
So I'll work on it, and I'll probably get back to you, in the next day or so, and see what they come up with. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Awesome, Jim. I appreciate your time. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See ya. All right. What'd you think of that, Tony?
It was good. He just didn't have no pain.
Yeah, but we got a $25,000 reduction.
Yeah.
No, that's probably not going to do anything, honestly.
Yeah.
So, yep, no real pain. What'd you think of the labeling, the emotions?
It was
I think I'm
good.
good with that.
Yeah, it was
But
good.
it's like they say, no pain, no gain.
That's right.
No pain for them,
Exactly.
no gain for us.
Yeah, exactly.
We had good
Exactly.
rapport with him though, like real good. It was just tough that he had no desire to sell.
He liked you
Yeah,
so much, he told you to go get a job at another company.
Yeah.
basically. Yep. Yeah. For all intents and purposes, that's exactly what he was saying to do. Just go find another person to talk to. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, we'll get the next one. So one of the things that we're working on, we got to fix our phone system for our VA, but basically we're upgrading our VA to a lead manager role. And so you guys are probably familiar with this role, but it's basically setter closer model. So we're putting together a basic script where she can go through, call all of the leads, and then really quickly determine, are they able to make a decision right now? Like, could they sell right now if they got an offer that worked for them? And then do they check any of the following three boxes? Like, are they distressed? Do they want 90% or less of Zillow? Or is the property not livable or financeable? And if they check any one of those boxes, in addition to being able to make a decision, then she'll put them on the calendar, and then I can get on and go through the call with them. And that way we're getting more qualified leads teed up, and rather than starting from scratch on every single one of these calls. So it's a good way. So if you're in a position to have a VA doing that or have somebody doing that, then it's a good way to kind of filter through your leads, and whoever is your closer to kind of tee them up better, and just have them focusing more of their time, energy, and effort on, the hyper qualified leads. So, but you just want to be careful about not DQing. So you definitely want to do call reviews with that person, and, check on their leads and confirm that they're not overly disqualifying leads, because then you run into a position where you're throwing away, situations where you might want to talk to those people. So, but
Well said.
cool. Anything else, Christian?
Nope. You did a great job. I will say this. Obviously, like I put in the chat there on YouTube, rate the conversation 1 to 10, 1 being, your general terrible, 10 being excellent, superior. But of course, with the rating, explain why. And if I had to rate that call, I would rate it a 9. And I think the only reason why it wouldn't be a 10 is just because of the length of time. But I think
Yeah,
the reason why we'll be able to shorten that time, or at minimum get a better result out of a longer call like that, is with that setter in play. Not that we haven't
yeah,
done it before, it's just that we've kind of made shifts and changes and pivots on our team. People have come, people have gone, but now we have somebody that we've identified who's been with us for years and years and years, that is going to be able to and be excited to and be good at getting on the phone as a setter.
yeah. Agreed. Yeah, and there's some of the questions, so I could have condensed that. That was an hour and 30-minute call, right? And I went through basically
Damn.
the entire script. Yeah, right. It didn't feel like an hour and 30 minutes, right? But it was an
Yeah.
hour and 30-minute call, and there was definitely some times where I got off track, talking about like personal stuff and, but it's rapport building, right? So you do have to balance that rapport building with, not taking too long on the call. We could have cut that down by 30 minutes. And I could probably strip it down even further. Like some of the questions, like, so the script that we use, I like it a lot. Some of the questions in there, the whole purpose of them, it's designed to basically separate you from other people in the industry that don't ask some of those questions, like the electrical lines out front, and that type of stuff, right? Well, it's relevant to when you sell the house. If you got power lines over the house, like that house is going to sell for less than the same house in the neighborhood without power lines running, right next to it, I mean, that's just reality. So it is an important question to ask, but you could see that on Zillow and, but it does set you apart a little bit. So, there's definitely some things that I can strip out a little bit and, you know, I'm going to readjust some things on here to try to get to the key things to qualify them a little bit better and then, move on when it doesn't seem like it's a qualified lead. But he seemed like he had decent enough motivation to move, but just not enough distress. So
He wants to move.
exactly. But all right, cool. I'm gonna pop off here and then because Christian, we gotta help Carolina with this Philly deal so we can get this across the finish line here. So we're gonna cut this a little bit short, the live short, and then I will be popping back on live a little bit later this afternoon, probably in about maybe 2 or 2:30, and we'll get on some more calls and you guys can join and watch as we make real estate investing easy.
What he means is he's going to get popping. So, like we were popping bottles before.
Yeah, exactly.
Removing bottlenecks by popping bottles. All right, everybody. Thanks so much, Michael. It was good seeing you. Tony, it was good seeing you. Running One Man, thank you so much. I'm still looking forward to a rating on the call that you've had or tuned into so far as well, and anyone else viewing this. But also, just like Chris said, we're going to make real estate investing
Easy.